Hey guys, and welcome back. Bisexuality. I'm going to be talking about bisexuality today. And when it comes to bisexuality, I'm not going to be here to kind of define the actual term of bisexuality. Bisexuality, if you define it in dictionary terms, it's when a person has a sexual attraction to either gender, both male and female. This is not the video you want to watch if this is exactly what you think your interpretation of bisexuality is. I'm just here to kind of express what I feel my idea of bisexuality and what I have experienced in my life to feel what is the right definition for it. We have a lot to share. Let's move on. So yes, the only reason why I wanted to choose the topic is because it's a topic that's close to me because I've been through a lot of experiences, especially when it comes to people being bisexual. I'm just gonna use two, for example, in this experience. The first one has to come with a person that I've had in the past that has stated that they have an attraction towards me specifically. And it's so weird because this person said, like, at the time, they said, I've never been attracted to any other guy. For some reason, you're the only person that I've found attractive, which I found very strange. And they also defined themselves as being bisexual. They're like, oh, I think I'm bisexual, because I feel like that's the only way that they could define themselves. So I was kind of like, not quizzing, but questioning the person. And there was just a couple of things that I needed to that I was like intrigued by, or that I was curious about, because I didn't understand why this person had only an attraction towards me at the time, which I found very strange because the first time I met this person, they didn't have any attraction towards me, but around the third time I met this person, they did. So this is the way that I see it. So I asked the person a lot of questions and I came to this determination just from what they had told me. And they said that they were not interested in dating guys, men, or including me. They've kissed a guy before and they didn't find it interesting or intriguing. This person likes the sexual part of being with a guy, but not the emotional or the physical aspect of being with a guy. Do like the sexual, emotional, and physical part of being with a girl. And they sounded very confident about this. And I read, like, people, you can normally tell when a person's being completely honest, and I can tell that this person was being completely honest. They found no attraction towards a man other than being sexual with a guy. So I'm just like, in the bottom of my head, I'm like, that doesn't make you bisexual. What is my interpretation of bisexuality? My interpretation of bisexuality is when a person is emotionally, physically, and mentally attracted to both genders. And I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I do feel that way. I feel like in order to be attracted, if you're mainly attracted to women and you're just only sexually attracted to guys, then you're pretty much a straight guy that's just being greedy. I'm not here to create a definition for it, but I'm just here to kind of explain this experience. And this was not the only time that I've experienced that. I have had another past experience where I had an experience with another guy who didn't define his sexuality. He only had an experience with me. As we got older, we grew apart, and then he's always dated women. He's never dated men. He's never been emotionally attracted to men. It was just, at that time, I was the only person that this person was attracted to and had an experience with. And it's very hard because as this person grew up, this was in my past, so as the person grew up, this person ended up now married and now having kids. And they're married with their wife and they're not doing anything else, from what I'm aware. For someone to be more attracted to one sex, more aspects than one, it's kind of hard to kind of just fit you in that little bubble. A lot of people like to put themselves in a certain category, and this is the thing. I'm not really big on labels. I'm really, really not. But at the same time, I'm not big on people pretending or thinking that they are something where they don't know enough about themselves to really understand who they are or what they want. If you are experimenting with your sexuality, if you are even more so being sexually fluid, if a person is sexually fluid, like that I can understand. I'm not here to tell anyone or define or just tell this person like, you're not bisexual. That's not me. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I remember this person saying something about like something that was going on within the government and gay rights and things like that. And they're like, yeah, me being bisexual, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, what about us and all that stuff? And I'm like, you don't march. You're DL. You're not out. You don't have an emotional attraction to men. You just like having sex with men. So that kind of offensive? Just looking back at the experiences, I'm not saying that these guys are wrong. I'm not saying that they're not bisexual, but I do think it's important to really understand who you are and really figure out what you want and understanding sexuality a little bit more before kind of putting a label on even yourself. If you don't know what something is, or if you haven't really experienced it, or if you have experienced it and you think that you know what you are, to put it this way, if you're still questioning yourself or you don't understand a lot about the community, just educate yourself a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a thing that I'm trying to say that's mean. Just have just a little bit of an understanding, a little bit more about who you are. And at the time, looking back, we all were younger, so of course there's a lot of questioning going on, but we've all matured, and it's still I still talk to some of these people, and their mindset is still the same. They just labeling themselves, but they just don't really understand what it is, or they're not really big advocates of putting themselves out there. You know, they're just still hitting in their boxes or their closets, which is perfectly fine for them, and I completely respect that. Everyone has their own time, but, you know, just, I guess it gives a little bit more respect to the rest of us, you know, when you take that courage to really, to come out. And I guess that's more of like your defining moment, you know what I mean? So yeah, that is my video on bisexuality. I know it was very straightforward. It was more of like a story time, and it seemed a little bit confusing, and it seemed a little bit all over the place, and I hope it made sense to some people, or I hope you can kind of understand it. You know, a lot of people have been through a lot of these weird circumstances where they've dealt with straight guys who try to play bisexual, or guys that say they're bisexual, but they're not. They're just looking for one thing, and they're not into anything else. So, you know, I feel like sometimes with gay men, we become naive enough to fall for it, you know, and I'm just here to let you know to not. But if you guys are interested in like these types of videos, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll keep a link right down here. And yeah, I'll have more videos like this to come. You guys know how to find me on all of my social media: Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all at LuisLuxe. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Ciao.